Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Monday, and welcome back to Lay's Couch Thoughts. Today, we're going to be talking about the MLB's baseball problem. And I know what you're thinking, the MLB is baseball. Well, no, I'm saying the actual, literal baseballs themselves, like the individual balls that the sport uses to play with. We will be discussing that today. As you may have seen, John Means threw a no-hitter, Wade Miley threw a no-hitter, and now through the first about a month and a couple weeks, about the first 5-6 weeks of play, there's already been 5 no-hitters thrown. That's alarming. Here's a reason why. The MLB average no-hitters in a season since, ever is 3. Average of 3 no-hitters. Obviously, there's outliers, Some years just going to be 5. Some years just going to be 1. Things like that happen. But when you have 5 in 6 weeks, that's concerning. Something's weird. And then going into this season, we heard, hey, we're going to mess with the baseballs. We're going to make these things unjuiced to try and prevent home runs, which, why would you do that exactly? Also, how can you unjuice a ball that you never juiced? You never admitted to juicing the ball. You always say, no, the balls aren't juiced, which they clearly were. Like, pop flies were being hit out the yard. And now it's, no, we're going to unjuice the balls that we never actually juiced. Okay, gotcha, that makes sense. So, your problem right now with baseball, this is apparently the problem, is people aren't putting the ball in play enough. So instead, we will now make strikeouts go up because we're going to mess with the ball, and we're going to allow the ball to have more movement because of how much lighter it is. That seems fair, right? That seems fair, and pitchers are all going to be throwing their hardest career average. Yeah, that makes sense, but also the ball will die in the air. So now you will be striking out more, but you will be hitting less home runs. So every single problem with baseball is, hey, everybody only hits home runs, which I don't know who has this problem. It's just dumb people. But hey, only people hit home runs anymore. People don't want to try and string together a few hits. Well, here's a reason why. You ever hit against Jacob deGrom? It's pretty hard to get 3 hits against him in an inning. It's a lot easier to sell out, maybe get a walk here, then hit a bomb, you're up 2-0, stuff like that. But it's hard to string together hits nowadays. The pitchers are the best that we have ever seen. We have never seen people throw at these speeds and RPMs, like spin on the ball, and movement on pitches. We have never seen anything like this, and the pitcher and the hitters need their time to adjust. Now, 10 years from now or so down the line, hitters are going to be adjusted. They're going to be adjusting. They're going to start seeing 100 miles an hour regularly their entire lives, basically. People are starting to throw 100s in high school now. Growing up, me in high school, and I never saw anything more than 88 or so. If people are seeing this in 100 in high school now, and again, it depends on where you play, but if you're playing college ball, if you're playing minor league ball, everybody's going to be throwing 100 now. Hitters are going to get used to it, and it's going to, hitting's going to catch up to pitching. It will. It always does. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to mess with the mound. You don't have to mess with the baseballs. You don't have to do anything like that. But your problem with the game of baseball right now is the 3 true outcomes: strikeout, walk, home run. So what did you do? You decreased the ability to hit home runs, and you increased the ability to strike out. That just makes the game worse. Also, we need to stop looking at striking out as a hitter failing. What if we looked at it as a pitcher succeeding? Everybody has this big problem with strikeouts in the game, but guess what? It's the same thing as another out. What if we started to look at someone striking out as not a hitter failing, but a pitcher succeeding? Now, me and Max Greenfield got into that on my podcast a few weeks ago. You can check that out. The interview's actually on YouTube while you're here. But until we start to view it that way, until we start to see it as, which is silly, because if it's your team and somebody strikes them out, you're like, yes, you get excited. But if it's your team and somebody strikes out on your team, you're like, oh, no, that sucks. But if you watch a regular baseball game, you see it as a hitter failing. I've never seen it that way. Whenever I watch, if I turn on Sunday Night Baseball and it's Walker Buehler versus Yu Darvish, right? If I turn that on and I'm watching that, and Yu Darvish strikes out Mookie Betts, I'm just like, wow, Mookie Betts failed right there. I'm like, what a pitch by Yu Darvish, man! That was a battle, man. Until we start seeing the game like that, until we start to see just realistically speaking here, this is the best way to put up runs. Because if you look at it, run production across the board since the 3 true outcome era basically kind of started, it's about the same. There's the same amount of runs are being scored, they're just scoring them differently. And honestly, I don't understand how you could be like, oh man, I wish they would string together a few hits because this looks better than this. Really? dude, really? If you start off the inning with a walk and then somebody rolls over a ground ball through the 6-hole and then the next guy hits a line drive up the middle and scores a run, that's more exciting to you than the second guy hitting a home run after the dude walks to lead off the inning? Like, no, it's not. Don't lie. Like, home runs are fun. It is. There's nothing wrong with it. But you know what the craziest part about the dead ball stuff? The stars are still being stars. Mike Trout's still hitting over 380. He's having the best season of his career. Ronald Acuna Jr. looks like a Hall of Fame MVP caliber player right now. Soto and Yelich, they were both crushing the ball before their injuries. JD Martinez, and obviously he's not on the same level as those guys, but he is a tremendous hitter. He's still OPSing over 1,000. Like, he's having a great season. Like, the stars are still being stars. This just kind of affects, like, the middle ground here and definitely, like, the lower. But I don't know. We got to figure out this ball problem. We should have never messed with the balls to begin with. And if we're going to, like, I never understood the problem with juice balls because the most fun time in baseball history was during the steroid era. Correct, right? That's whenever baseball was the most fun. That's when baseball was the most interesting and like in the national media limelight and like in the spotlight. But now, Rob Manfred says, hey, instead of juicing the players because that might not be the best for their health, what if we just juice the balls? You get the same effect. Instead, the balls just, fly further. And they got caught because the pitchers were like, hey, not because they're like, hey, home run rates are up. They're like, hey, these balls are spun differently. Like, they are tighter. They are more compact. Whenever they hit them, it's like a bouncy ball. Everybody's getting blisters because they're wound so tight and they're being ready to be like a springboard and fly off the bat. And that's how they got caught. But don't mess with the baseballs. Just put back the juice balls. Who cares? Nobody cares about this stupid stuff. And guess what? Hitting will eventually catch up to pitching. It will. But you know what? We're just seeing 94-mile-an-hour sliders for the first time. We're seeing people who the average bullpen arm right now throws 98. Simple. Like back in the day, if you had somebody on a team who could hit 100, then every single person in baseball knew that guy's name. Right now, like, think about when Chapman was coming up, right? Like, I remember I was young. I think I was 13. The Reds were playing in Atlanta. We went to the game in Atlanta. And, like, everybody knew, like, the ninth inning was like, oh my gosh, we're going to see Chapman. And then every single time, boom, pitch. Everybody, whew, to the pitch speed, 103. Oh my God, he threw 103. Next pitch, whew, 102. And it's like, everybody's, like, freaking out. Now you see 100 on the regular. You have, like, some random, like, bullpen guy who's like bouncing around in the minor leagues who like nobody knows his name. He's got like a 5.5 ERA and he just throws it and you're like, man, that ball got crushed. Does that say 101? What? Was that 99? Like everybody throws 98 nowadays. So I mean, because of that, hitters are going to struggle. They're gonna have to adjust. The adjustment's coming. It takes time. Anyways, guys, MLB, you gotta figure it out. You gotta fix the baseballs. All eyes are on you right now. Baseball feels like it's in the best spot it's been in the last few years in terms of everyone following it and not just baseball fans. So I'm gonna need you to figure this out real quick. But anyways, guys, have a good Monday. I just finished my last finals. I'm done with school, so I'm excited about that. What y'all do this weekend? Because I'm about to head to the beach and I'm excited. But anyways, guys, if you liked the video, please like, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.